Hi everyone. We're here to explore this concept of linking human resource and people metrics to organizational metrics, so that we can uh, do the necessary tweaks in the people levers, and to give the an increased revenue and increased profitability in business. To this end, I'm going to showcase to you a model that we endorse at Pexiscore, the People PPE, Productivity, Performance, and Engagement Model. And I'll show you a prototype, and I do hope you will like it. All of us understand the way a data driven decision making system works in human resources. We have so many points of data capture, the HRMS, our ATS, a pump and bin system, our engagement partners who capture our engagement data. So there are multiple sources of data related to people that we capture, and we combine and clean this data, and we run analysis and dashboards. These processes are often found in most organizations. In fact, most of the time you have multiple graphs and charts which come out, but the thing that we want is to be able to satisfy the employee as well as to satisfy the business. With increased automation in our processes, increased penetration of technology, what the and an increase in the number of millennials, the percentage of millennials in our workforce. Yes, they say by in another 5 years we might have nearly 75% of the people in our workforce would be millennials. And what do they want? They want continuous improvement through continuous feedback. And then what does business want? It wants an increase in revenue and increase in profitability, which it has linked clearly to what it is called the customer experience. And this customer experience has been linked clearly to employee experience. Hence, somewhere we have to ensure that the employee experience is good so that the customer experience is good, and that the customer experience is good so that the business goals of profitability are met. So here we are going to just take a look at how we define people experience, the employee experience. At Pexiscore, we've picked up these three metrics: performance, productivity, and engagement. And we believe that if the people performance, productivity, and engagement scores are good, that shows that the employee experience is good. People are liking to work with us, and therefore we can be sure that the customer experience will be good. So of course, these metrics are higher level metrics. What are the levers which drive these metrics are from the various processes within human resources, be it hiring, learning and development, comp and ben, leaves, claims, talent assessments. All these are the surrogate processes which are managed by human resources. And if we have to make a change in the performance, productivity, and engagement score of an employee or of the employees, we need to be able to tweak the relevant levers. We need to be able to tweak the relevant levers so that we can impact the employee experience, which will in turn impact the customer experience, which will in turn drive the revenues and reduce our costs, right? Now, what happens is, most of the time we have two types of data in human resources. You have the people data that is about the people, and you have the system or process data, which is the process that a person follows within the organization, the various levers that we talked about. While the people data is often the outcome of certain levers which are like talent assessments, like 360-degree feedback. So these levers sort of help us understand what is the nature of our employees, what is the capability, the skill, the competence of our employees, while the system information tells us what is the CTC they are at, how many years they have stayed with us, how much of Mediclaim they have taken, and so on and so forth. A combination of this together is what is required from the people end. As I was mentioning earlier, we do understand that most organizations do measure the HR metrics. They have a good dashboard, a robust dashboarding system. And here I've put down some metrics which are the common metrics used for performance, used for productivity, and for engagement. The question is that we should be able to make a lot of decisions on the basis of the data that we're talking about. And these decisions could be these questions which we have put down, you know, uh, do millennials behave differently within my organization across productivity, performance, and engagement? Do people with prior experience stay with my organization for long? Do we need to improve interview practices to improve productivity? Now, these are the type of questions which tell us which lever to tweak. The data that we have built this model on contains 100 columns or attributes, out of which we have used 5 attributes from finance, which are related to the organizational performance, and all the remaining attributes you will notice are from HR systems, different systems within human resources. So we've used all of this information to create this model out here. Okay. It's a plug and play model. Like we can create APIs to ensure that even the data within the model gets automatically updated. All these are possibilities in case you might wish to explore further. Now this is a dashboard, and you will notice that we have created 3 dashboards: performance dashboard, a performance storyboard, an engagement storyboard, and a productivity storyboard. And the way the story unfolds in each board is simple. The first graph actually tells you something about that metric. So here it is the average of the performance scores of the last 3 years, as well as the performance score of the current year. Where does it lie? How does it change for the millennials versus the non-millennials, and so on and so forth? The second graph is telling us something about how these values are linked. So this performance storyboard, what is here we have, as I've said, we have considered 2 performance metrics of paramount importance, which is the average performance of the last 3 years, and the average and the performance score of the last year, which is 2020, the latest one. Now, how is that linked to revenue? And then you will notice that the storyboard has 2 further graphs. Of course, the number can go up or down as per your requirement, where we have looked at the combining the PPE metrics. Here, the productivity metrics, the performance metrics with the levers. So here you can see the average of the count of engagement events, L&D programs, etc. have been put up. So when we look at anything, if we look at our female employees, we can see how these scores change. We look at our male employees, we can see how they change, and we can derive whatever insights we need. The same has been done for the recruitment score. So the average of the recruitment score, competency, average of his interview score, and how each of this is impacting. A similar thing you can see for engagement storyboard and for productivity. What I think sets this apart is the auto calculation through machine learning of the drivers, the top drivers for any of the metrics which the organization wishes to sort of focus on. So here this organization wishes to focus on the amount of time an employee stays in the organization, the performance scores, and the engagement scores. And this is what they are focusing on. And here you can see that on the basis of an associative statistics of correlation, we have figured out that 10 drivers on an organizational level. A similar set of drivers will get calculated at a department level, at a location level, if you so want to see. So here, what do we find? That if we want to increase tenure in the company, what is important for us, if we look at just the top 3, is the previous experience, the count of L&D programs, and the joining CTC. Interestingly, here in my company, this particular organization whose data we're working on, um, uh, the previous experience being higher means that the person spends less time in the company. So somewhere people with more experience outside the organization don't seem to stay with us for long. When you look at the count of L&D programs, we find that people who engage in more learning and development programs, they stay with us for long. And the joining CTC, again here there's a negative association. That means people who join at a lower CTC stay with us for long. Now, on the basis of this, this organization can decide that they will concentrate on picking up people with lower experience and lower CTC, but they will have to build a robust learning and development program, a robust way to ensure that people continue to learn what they have missed out on the basis of not having adequate experience. So I think this gives you a sense of what we are trying to bring. And if you do like it, please do reach out to me. It'll be nice to interact with you. You can reach me at subhashini@pexitics.com or at 7349662320. Thank you.